Great people, good day great Tassodite, and good day great Iwe Global members. It's nice to have you on our channel again. In this video, you are going to learn a lot about another important topic in mathematics. That's Roman numerals. Okay, beautiful. Please make sure you watch this video to the end so that you can have a great understanding about this concept of Roman numerals. Are we set now? Beautiful. So let's start now. Now you can see on the board there that I wrote here that Roman numerals are special kind of number system. They are actually special kinds of number system. We have different number system, but the Roman numeral is actually one of the number system. Are we together now? Beautiful. I said the Roman numerals are special kind of number system that were earlier used by the Romans, those in Rome. Okay, beautiful. In ancient Rome. Don't forget that Rome is actually the capital of Italy, right? Are we together? Beautiful. Now, it's actually an ancient number system that is still used in many places. Yes. If you have read some books, you must have seen at the beginning of the books, you will see the pages of the book, you will see it in Roman numerals, right? Beautiful. You must have seen some wall clocks, some wristwatch as well too. You will see them also in Roman numerals as well too. So it's actually an ancient number system that is still used in many places, okay, and in different form, okay. Beautiful. So I want you to understand this very well. Now don't forget that in this number system, alphabets are used to represent fixed positive numbers, not negative, not zero, but fixed positive numbers. Are we together now? Beautiful. Fixed positive numbers. And you remember that we have 26 English alphabets. Now, out of these 26 English alphabets, 23 of them are actually Roman alphabets. Are we together now? Now, there are just 3 letters that are not Roman alphabet, but they are English alphabet. That's J, then U, and W. Okay, now these 3 are not Roman alphabet, but they are actually English alphabet. Are we together now? Good. Now let's go into the teaching properly now. Having understood this now, let us now go into the teaching properly now. Now there are 7 basic Roman numerals. There are 7 basic Roman numerals. 7 basic Roman numerals. Are we together? There are 7 basic Roman numerals. And what are these 7 basic Roman numerals? We have I1, we have V5, we have X10, we have L to be 50, we have C to be 100, we have D to be 500, and then we have M 1000. Okay, how many basic Roman numerals do we have? There are 7 basic Roman numerals. I1, okay, V5, X10, L50, C100, D500, and then M1000. Now there is an easy way to remember Roman numerals. What's that now? The easy way is my dear cat loves extra. My dear cat loves extra vitamins. Vitamins intensely. So my dear cat loves extra vitamins intensely. So if you remember that my dear cat loves extra vitamin intensely, you remember that they from the bottom, from the highest rather, M is 1000, then D is 500, C is 100, L is 50, X is 10, V is 5, and I is 1. So you notice we have this pattern 1 5 1 5 1 5 1. Again, 1 5 1 5 1 5 1. Don't forget, my dear cat loves extra vitamins intensely. 1 5 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 7. Now you notice the first two here we don't have 0, but the next two we have 0. Then followed by the other two again we have 2 zeros. Then we have 3 zeros. No 0, 1 0, 2 zeros, 3 zeros. 1 5, 1 5, 1 5, 1. Is that clear now? So these are the 7 basic Roman numerals. I. What's I? 1. What's V? V is 5. What is X? X is 10. Okay? So what is L? L is what? 50, right? Then what is C? C is 100. D is 500 and M is what? 1000. Okay? Now you can remember this with what's your first finger? Yeah, let me just use this now. This I. This finger now represents I. So this is standing as I, okay, and it is 1. So you can remember that I is 1. Okay? Beautiful. Now, notice this now. Look at your end now. If I count I here, I, look at it now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can see this shape of my finger here now. It's showing 5, right? It's actually V. This is the 5th finger, but it's coming in form of V, right? So you can use that to remember that V is 5. Okay, so I, 1, V, 5. Are we together now? Now look at this now. If I put V up and I put V down, this is 5 and then this is 5. So 5 plus 5 gives me what now? 10. That's another way to remember that X is 10. X is 10. You got that now? Beautiful. Is that understood now? Good now. Now you can remember that L is also 50. Okay. L is 50. Don't forget that now. I'm trying to look for a way to make this L simple, but I have not been able to get that already. Okay. Now from century is 100 years. So you can remember C is 100. Do you get that now? C is 100. Okay. C is 100. Now from millennium. Okay. Millennium is 1000 years, right? M is 1000. So these are just simple ways to just remember these basic Roman numerals. Okay, don't forget that D is 500. Okay, beautiful. So if you can commit this to your memory, you have understood them very well, then you can understand all our Roman numerals. You can change from Indo-Arabic numerals to Roman numerals, from Roman numerals to Indo-Arabic numerals. Are we together now? So don't forget I, 1, V, 5, X, 10, L, 50, C, 100, D, 500, M, 1000. Again, let's go. I, 1, V, 5, X, 10, L, 50. Are we together? Then we have C, 100, V, 500, M, 1000. Don't forget, my dear cat loves extra vitamins intensely. My dear cat loves extra vitamin intensely. Okay, these are the 7 basic Roman numerals. Are we together now? So I believe you have learned that very well. Now, beautiful. Now, writing Roman numerals is very simple. Yeah, very simple. However, there are certain rules you have to understand. Yes, there are certain rules you have to understand. So that takes us to the next subtopic: rules for writing Roman numerals. What are the rules? What are the rules you need to understand before you can write Roman numerals effectively? What are the rules you need to understand before you can change from the Indo-Arabic numeral to Roman numeral? These are important aspects of this topic that you must understand very, very well now. Now, many people stop at the 7 basic Roman numerals. Okay, they will just tell you that, okay, we have 7 basic Roman numerals, but not everyone will tell you that there are rules that you need to understand before you can write Roman numerals. Now, let's take a look at these rules now. Rules. Let's write this. Rules for writing Roman numerals. Rules for writing Roman numerals. There are some rules for writing Roman numerals. Now, the first rule is this: there is no symbol. There is no symbol or letter. Don't forget that Roman numerals are also called Roman letters, or Roman letters are still Roman symbols. Okay, so there is no symbol or letter for 0. Have you noticed that? There is no symbol or letter for 0. That is, it is not a place value system. Yes, this number system is not a place value system. So we don't have symbol for 0. When I listed the 7 basic Roman numerals, did you see any symbol for 0? No. Don't forget, H is 1, V is 5, right? X is 10, L is 50. In fact, let me write it here because we're going to make use of it. H 1, V 5, okay? X 10, L 50, C 100, D 500. Okay, let's use it this way. 500, and then M is what? 1000, right? Beautiful. M is 1000. Are we together now? Okay, let's move forward now. So the first rule is there is no symbol or letter for 0. Okay, we don't have a symbol or letter for 0. Now let's take a look at the second rule. The second rule states that when a symbol, okay, when a symbol or letter appears, when it appears two or more times in a group, that means when a symbol appears 2 or more times in a group, such as II or XX, beautiful, right? They are added. Okay, they are added. Let me just put that way. They are added. That means that if I have 1, this II actually means, rather it's not 1 word, it's actually II. Remember Roman letters. II. It only means 1 plus 1. That is 2. If I have XXX, it means this plus X. Our X is 10. So it is 10 plus 10 plus 10. So when a symbol appears 2 or more times in a group, then they are what? Added. They are what? They are added. Please don't forget that. They are added. So that takes us to this, that repetition of symbols means the addition of their values. Beautiful. So when you repeat letters together in a group, it simply means that you have to add them. You have to add their values. Okay, so repetition of symbols means the addition of their values. So if I should have this one is not money making machine. No, it actually means, what is M? 1000, Abi. 1000 plus 1000 plus 1000. So if I should have a symbol repeated, it means that I need to add their values. Are we together? I need to add their what? Their values. Are we together now? Beautiful. Now that takes us to the third rule. Now, how many of you have noticed that you can see letter I here, X here? I also repeated N here. I want to show you something now. Look at this. Look at this letter now. This is I, and I has 1, Abi. X also has 1, right? C also has 1, and then M also has 1. Now 1. You see all these letters with 1. They are the letters. They are the Roman numerals that can be repeated. They are the Roman numerals that can be what? Repeated. So letters like I, X, okay, C, and M are Roman numerals that can be repeated. They are the symbols that can be repeated. They are the symbols. Let me put it this way now. The symbols that can be repeated. The symbols that can be repeated are I, X, C, and N. These are the symbols that can be repeated. Any other symbol apart from these 4 symbols cannot be repeated. That takes us to the fourth rule. The symbols that cannot be repeated. The symbols that cannot be repeated are, what are the symbols now? V, okay, L, and D. You notice that these are the symbols that have 5 in there, right? That the value of that symbol has 5 in it. So V has this 5, L has 5 again, D also has what now? 5. So you now see that the symbols whose value, okay, the symbols whose values have 1, 1, 1, 1, they are the symbols that can be repeated. Now the symbols whose value do not have 1 but have 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, they are the symbols that cannot be repeated. You got what I'm saying now? They are the symbols that cannot be repeated. Okay? They cannot be repeated. Now, that takes us to another rule again, the 5th rule. Are we together now? Now, don't forget that we actually want to understand the rules for writing Roman numerals before we actually learn how to convert from Arabic numerals to Roman numerals, from Roman numerals to Arabic numerals. So I want you to understand all of these rules very, very well. Are we together now? Okay, let's move forward now. That takes us to the 5th rule, that a letter or symbol of small value. Remember, what is the value of I? 1. What is the value of V? 5. What is the value of X? 10. What is the value of L? 50. What's the value of C? 100. The value of D? 500. The value of M? 1000. So a letter or symbol of smaller value can be placed before, you see now, or after a letter or symbol of greater value. What does that mean? That means that a letter or symbol of smaller value can be placed to the left or right of a letter or symbol of greater value. That's why you can see something like IX or XI. You notice that this I is a letter of smaller value, so it can be placed before or after a letter of greater value, which is X. Yeah, you can see it here before, right? You can now see it here after. That's why you can see something like CM. CM is not choir master, okay? It doesn't make choir master here. It can make choir master in another place, okay? But I'm actually telling us that you notice that C, what's the value of C? 100. What's the value of M? 1000. So you can see that a letter of smaller value can be placed before or after a letter of what now? Greater value. Are we together now? Can be placed before or after a letter of greater value. That takes us to the 6th rule. You can see now. The first way is there is no symbol or letter for 0. We don't have symbol or letter for 0. The next rule is when a symbol appears 2 or more times in a group, it means they have to be added. Those symbols have to be added, right? The values of those symbols have to be added, right? So when a symbol appears 2 or more times in a group, such as II or XX, they are added. Even if it is II like this, II, you add their values. Okay, beautiful. And I said the symbols that can be repeated are I, X, C, and N. They are the ones that can be repeated. While the symbols that cannot be repeated are V, L, and D. Are we together now? Then the 5th rule: a letter or symbol of smaller value can be placed before or just like this, before or after a letter of greater value. Are we together now? Okay, let's quickly take the 6th rule now. The 6th rule. I want you to understand these rules very well. The sixth rule. Okay, so I believe you're writing there, and don't forget to subscribe if you have not done that. Make sure you subscribe to this channel because more videos will be uploaded on this channel, and I don't want you to actually miss them. because they are very, very upward. Okay, let's continue now. The sixth row now. The sixth row. Now, if a smaller symbol, if a smaller symbol is written to the left, to the right rather, let's start with right, is written to the right of a symbol with great value, greater value, okay, comma, then its value gets added. Then its value gets added to the value. Its value gets added to the value of the greater symbol. Its value gets added to the value of the symbol with greater value. Okay, let me explain this now. Okay, that means that if I have xi, you can see this smaller symbol is written to the what? Right. This is the right. This is the right of the greater value, right? That means we'll have to what? Add it. Okay, we'll have to do what? We'll have to add it. Are we together? We have to add it. So that is why you have to understand this. Let me just show us this now. You notice in the scripture, the Bible tells us that the right hand of the Lord is exalted. Good. Okay. In fact, you remember in our primary school days, I can remember my primary school days when we want to show our teacher greater than, less than, we use our right hand, greater than, our left hand, less than. And you must have noticed it in our Yoruba culture. Yoruba will say that you should use your right hand to collect something from someone. Don't use your what? Left hand. Because Yoruba believe that when you use your right hand, the person will be increasing. But when you use your left hand, the person will what? Decreasing. And this is also applicable to our number line too. It's true. It's applicable to our number line. Okay, if you want to increase the volume of your TV, by the time you try to do that, you notice that it will actually be going towards the what? Towards the right. I have to tell you that right there signifies addition, left signifies what now? Subtraction. So when a smaller value is written to the right, it means that you have to add it. Addition must take place. But if a smaller value is written out to the left, then subtraction will now take place. You got what I'm saying now? I'll just combine rule 6 and rule 7 for you that way now. So you can write rule 7 yourself now, that if a smaller symbol is written to the left of a symbol with greater value, then its value gets subtracted from the symbol with greater value. So its value gets subtracted from the value of that symbol whose value is actually greater than the smaller one. Are we together now? So if it is to the right like this, it is addition. If it is to the left like this, it is what now? Subtraction. So if I have ix, this will be 10 minus 1, because these smaller values are the what? Left. But if I should have xi, it will be 10 plus 1, because this smaller value is to the what? Right. You got what I'm saying now? So my right hand signifies addition, my left hand signifies what now? Subtraction. Are we together now? So very simple now. So now I've combined rule 6 and then rule 7 for us. Are we together now? So let's quickly go straight to rule 8. Okay, very simple. That's just rule 6 and then rule 7. So you just put subtraction for rule 7. Is that very clear now? Beautiful. Okay, so let's quickly run through rule 8 now. Rule 8. Don't forget, if the smaller symbol is by your right, you actually what? Add. If it's by your left, you do what? You subtract. Is it very clear to you now? Okay, so let's quickly move to rule 8 now. Rule 8 now. Now, please don't forget that these symbols V, L, and D, they are never what? Repeated. Okay, they are never what? Repeated. They are never repeated. They are never repeated. And there is a rule I want you to know this, to know that these symbols that are never repeated are never subtracted. Yes, you don't subtract this symbol. they are never subtracted. Okay? They are never subtracted. They are never subtracted. They can be added, but not subtracted. Are we together? And that is rule 8. Write it down. The symbols, V, L, and D, symbols V, L, and D are never written to the what? They are never written to the left. To the left of a symbol. They are never written to the left of a symbol of greater, let me put it this way, of greater value. Okay, so we don't have something like DM. It's not direct message. We don't have like DM. Okay, but we don't have something. We don't have something like LM. Okay, we don't have something like VC. We don't have something like that. It's not vice chancellor. Okay, we don't have something like that. Are we together? Beautiful. So they are never written to the left, but they can be written to the right. We can have CV. Okay, they can be written to the right, but they are never written to the what? To the left. Don't forget, these are still the symbols that cannot be repeated. Are we together now? Beautiful. Are we together? Okay. Okay, good. Let's quickly take this rule, this ninth rule, and then the 10th rule. Then in our next video, we'll look at how we can change from Roman numerals to Indo-Arabic numerals. Are we together? Okay. So let's take this 9th rule. Now, a symbol, get it written now. A symbol cannot be subtracted. A symbol cannot be subtracted. Cannot be subtracted from. Cannot be subtracted. Let me put it this way so that it will be very simple. A symbol cannot be subtracted more than once. Yes, let's use that now. A symbol cannot be subtracted. Cannot be subtracted. Cannot be subtracted more than once from a particular. More than once. How many times? Once. More than once. Cannot be subtracted more than once from a particular symbol. From a particular symbol of greater value. Cannot be subtracted more than once from a particular symbol of greater value. That means, remember that when I told us that when you write it to the left, it means you're subtracting, right? That means that we cannot repeat a symbol on the left hand side. We cannot repeat a symbol on the left hand side. Okay, so that means I cannot have IIC. It's wrong. A symbol cannot be subtracted more than once, although that symbol cannot be repeated more than 3 times when you are adding. So look at this. Don't get this confusing. Okay, look at this now. I can repeat I like this I, and also have I. This is my last bus stop. All the letters that can be repeated. What are the letters that can be repeated? I, X, C, and F. I can only repeat them 3 times. Okay, I is allowed. XX is allowed. XXX is allowed. After this 3rd time, I can't repeat it again. CC is allowed. CCC is allowed. Okay, I can repeat. MMM is allowed. MMM is allowed. MM is also what? Allowed. So don't forget that a letter that can be repeated can only be repeated how many times? 3 times. However, a symbol cannot be subtracted more than once. That means you can only subtract once. Subtraction takes place once, but addition can still take place up to 3 times. All are making sense now. So in Roman numerals, you can subtract only once. Okay, that a symbol can be subtracted can be subtracted only once from a particular symbol of greater value, or a symbol cannot be subtracted more than once. I'm still saying the same thing. It must not pass 1. Not more than 1. Okay? Not more than 1. So a symbol cannot be subtracted more than once from a particular symbol. That means it can only be subtracted once. So we have IX. We don't have IIX. Okay? I hope I'm making sense now. Okay? We have CF. We don't have CCN. Remember, this CM is actually, it's at the left. So it's actually 1000 minus 100 because it's at the left. But we cannot have two symbols by the left. Yes. By the left of a symbol of greater value. We can have 2 symbols, we can have 3 symbols, we can have 4. We can only have how many? 1. That was why I said a symbol cannot be subtracted more than once from a particular symbol, just once. I can't have X, L. I can't have this. I can only have XL, just one. You got what I'm saying now? Beautiful. So there are still more rules to still learn. There are still about 2 or 3 rules I still want to show you. In our next video, I'm going to show you those rules, and then we'll begin to learn how we can convert from Roman numerals to Indo-Arabic numerals, and then from Indo-Arabic numerals to Roman numerals. Let us just quickly recap the rules that we have actually learned so far. I told us that there is no symbol for writing, there is no symbol for 0, right? And then when a number appears 2 or more times in a group, then it represents addition. Okay, you add the values, and that can only occur not more than 3 times. So you can add I, that's 2, I, 3, last bus stop. X, 20, X, last bus stop. You cannot repeat more than 3 times. That's another rule you have to understand there. And I said that the symbols V, L, D are never repeated, but the symbol I, X, C, and M, they are repeated. The symbols whose value have 1, 1, 1, 1, they are repeated. But this one, V, L, D, they are not repeated. And if they cannot be repeated, they cannot be written to the left. They cannot be subtracted. Are we together now? Beautiful. And I told us that a symbol is not repeated more than 3 times. It's part of the rule. In fact, make it your 10th rule. Make it your 10th rule. Okay? Number 10. A symbol is not repeated more than 3 times. More than 3 times. 3 times. Okay? However, a symbol cannot be subtracted more than, repetition is addition here, okay? That means a symbol is not repeated more than 3 times. However, a symbol cannot be subtracted more than once. It's just once you can subtract. And land is subtract, but we can still add up to 3 times. Okay? After the 3rd one, no addition again. Are we together now? But when you want to subtract, you can only subtract once. I hope I'm making sense now. Is that taken? Good. Please understand this. So we can only have CF. You can't have 2 symbols to the left. You can't have 2 symbols to the left of a. You can't have the same symbol. That's what I'm saying. You can't have the same symbol to the left of a greater value. You can't have something like this. You can't even have something like ICM. Doesn't make sense here. But you can actually have it here. Okay, beautiful. Okay, you can have it here as MCI. Yeah, that's still making sense. Okay, beautiful. We're going to learn a lot about all these rules. Are we together now? So we have learned about this in this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more and more teachings. God bless you. I hope you found this video helpful. If so, make sure you share, subscribe, and then see you in the next video. Master Emmanuel. God bless you. Bye-bye.